did this idea come from? Because it's so much fun. It's over the top. It goes everywhere.
Yeah, that was intention from the beginning. But funny enough, it came from real life, which is kind of because sometimes life is crazier than any like feature you can come up with. And it's all started from like 10 years ago. My wife and we rented an apartment in a big like 16 floor building, and we moved in, and in a week we understood that like there is no people under 65, just like we are, and most of them like ladies, lonely ladies. And then like I started to do reconstruction in the kitchen, and I moved kitchen cabinet, and I found a hole in the wall that was leading to my neighbor's room and his kitchen cabinet. And we started to have this running joke that, oh shit, okay, this is a cult, and they probably like one night I will wake up and they will come for after us through this hole. And then like it's just like stayed as an idea. And I think I rewatched at some point Rosemary's Baby. And I rewatched Rosemary's Baby, and I'm like, wait a second, I literally lived in the same building, and I know what it feels when somebody can like show up. And that's how this like script like appeared.
Wow, that's really cool. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
And how long did it take you to come up with this script? Because there's so much genre bending in there as well. Like when it comes to dialogue, it feels, but also camera angles and camera movements and everything. The choreography.
No,
It's
yeah, but I think it's like just how my brain operates. I'm big movie geek, and I watched a lot of movies through my entire life. So I have this kind of library of references in my head, and the moments I love a lot, and I kind of use them as inspiration, and I take some beats and pieces and I like redo it. And that's why this whole like movie feels like a blanket stitched together from like a little bit of spaghetti western, a little bit of anime, a little bit of like horrors and action movies and everything. And it's just main challenge for like filmmaker in this case to stitch it all together well enough so it feels like one solid piece, not like kind of not making it falling apart. But yeah, and then it's just like classic script writing took like a year or so, and yeah.
yeah. And then the rich people, huh?
Oh
Came
yeah,
in.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I know we see a rise in social commentary on rich people. What made you want to introduce that?
It's not only rich people. I think it's like kind of common thing about people with power, and like how they can abuse the power and resources and money, and how they can exploit people without any power. And the way how I understood like both of my previous movies about families, and I use families as a metaphor for like society, because it's like you have 4 or 5 characters, and it's so easy to kind of squeeze the country to like one family basically, and like talk through archetypes. So, and in this case, when I started to dig deeper into like cults and history of the cults and how the cults operate, how they find like broken people in the darkest moment of their lives, they lure them in, and then they just basically abuse them and cut the connections from the outer world and feed them with propaganda and keep them inside and just like drain them. I understand like it's kind of also very symbolic and very clear, and it's exactly how basically everything works. And it's like, okay, I can tell a story through the point like, just like about the cult, and make it fun but also make it so like clear and familiar. And I think everyone faced like kind of that in the real
Yeah,
life.
yeah, and then bring in Zazie Beetz
Oh
to
yeah.
cut off the head. I mean, isn't she amazing?
She is unbelievable. She is, I think, my biggest luck on this project, and it's all happened thanks to her and her unbelievable energy and trust and sense of humor. And it was extremely challenging movie in terms of physicality, and it was very hard to make. And she trained for 4 months before we start shooting. She came once months before to Cape Town we were shooting, and she started to rehearse each single fight with our stunt team like a dance. And then basically you saw the movie, you know, she's in every single shot of it. So she didn't have like a single day off. She worked so hard, and I mean, it was just like pure joy and excitement. And also, you know, for me, I wrote this script with Alex Litviak, and we discussed a lot the character, and it sits in your head, and it's like imagine like something like from your imagination. And then I remember I like talked to Zazie like 2 times, I think, and immediately my like character in my head was switched with her. And from that moment, I like just saw her, and I felt like this is Asia, and I couldn't imagine anybody else. And she like fully did it, and I really hope that she will join this pantheon of amazing action kick-ass like heroes.
Well, you definitely put her maybe on top of that list.
Thank you.
Because she kicks ass. But I mean, you have an amazing ensemble anyway. When you saw that
Yeah.
with Patricia and Mahala and Tom and everybody, you know, when that came to life in front of your camera, what kind of feeling went through you?
I mean, happiness, and of course it was just like joy, and I was a little bit afraid because you never know. It's like they're all Hollywood veterans. They like, you know, I grew up watching them in the movies. But then you kind of go to set and you understand that actually work with them much easier than with anyone else, because they are so like top tier professionals. You just like, it's so easy for you as a filmmaker to work because they give you much more than you can even expect it and dreamt, and they like surprise you, and they come up with amazing ideas, and they teach you a lot. And it just was fun. It literally, this making of this movie was very hard, a lot of intense work, but constantly it was so much joy, and you like, it's yeah, one of the happiest time of my life, I think.
I can imagine. You know, and you have an amazing producing team as well. I know that Andy and Barbara are
Yes.
somewhere in a room next to you right now as well.
Yes.
What was it like having them on board?
Uh,
They know their horror as well.
They
They're
are
very
huge support for like, that's like you have producers who are also filmmakers. They know what challenges you go through. They know exactly what it means to be on that side of the process. So it was non-stop support. It was like I could call Andy and ask him just like professional questions. For example, at some point, like, Andy, do you remember in It 2, there was a moment when this old lady in an apartment ran toward camera and she grows up and hits the ceiling? How did you do that? You're like, was it CG or no? And like, no, we built the ramp. It was all in camera. We just moved it. And I'm like, oh, damn right. That's so good. So it's such a joy when you like actually work, but you get this access to a like first like person who made it, and he gives you his secrets and knowledge. And no, it was amazing. It was amazing. And also the fact that people still believe in original movies and support original stories and like batshit stories like ours, that's incredible.
One quick last question. What's the power of watching a horror movie?
Oh, I think it's like, it's just a release of any like all emotions you have. It's like horror movies like have, I believe that they have like therapeutic effect. I believe that it's just like they get to your like animal side that like really hard to release anywhere else except for cinemas. And so it's kind of, yeah, it just hits you in that emotions, and you can have, I like when I watch like good fun horror movie, I really feel physically happy after that. That like the like explosion of endorphin, I was terrified, I laughed, I had like all these mix of emotions that like makes me feel happy.